Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, thank you so much for stopping by. Today I am going to be talking about how to heal your gut if you are vegan. I get I'm gonna say like 99% of the questions that I get are how to heal your gut if you're vegan because you don't want to be taking bone broth and gelatin and collagen and stuff. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite supplements and products that you can use to help heal your gut. Now, I am not vegan myself for specific health reasons, and I do not believe that there's like a one, type fits all diet. I think that everybody has to do what works for them and for their body, and if that means vegan, that is great. If that means you need to eat meat, that is great. So I personally believe the fastest and easiest way to heal your gut is using the bone broth and animal products because they contain those specific amino acids that you would need to rebuild the gut lining. But if you don't want to consume those products, that is no problem. There are definitely other options and ways you can go. And the first thing I want to say, this is not a vegan product, and I'm not saying that this is what you should be using if you're vegan, but some of you are vegetarian or pescatarian and you don't know about this option. There is actually something called marine collagen. Further Foods is a really good brand for marine collagen, but it's not vegan, obviously. So that it is a pescatarian option though, for those of you, if you didn't know that exists out there. And I will leave all the ingredients, all of the products in the description box below, so you guys can check it out and kind of like have something to refer to. So the first thing is L-Glutamine. Not all L-glutamines are vegan, so you have to go and make sure yours is vegan. I know there's one company, it's called, I think it's Now Sports. I will try and leave a link for it in the description box below. And I'm pretty sure theirs is vegan L-glutamine, but L-glutamine is like the most preferred source of fuel for your cells and your gut lining to kind of repair itself. So your body, produces L-glutamine, but not in high enough amounts to repair a leaky gut. So if you have leaky gut, you should just be supplementing with extra L-glutamine powder. And like I said, just make sure it's vegan. The next thing, which is probably my all-time favorite, and I talk about this all the time, and it's Aloe Vera Gel. It is really good for relining the gut. It's amazing for reducing inflammation and soothing the gut and balancing those mucus levels. It's also a powerful antioxidant, and it's great for detoxing. It's alkaline, so it has many, many benefits, but it is really good for healing and resealing the gut. And if you have acne or psoriasis or any type of skin condition and you consume aloe vera, it's very hydrating and it really helps, bring like the redness and the inflammation of the skin down. So I would highly recommend it. Whether you're vegan or not, you should be taking aloe vera gel. The next thing is obviously probiotics. You cannot heal a gut if you are not repopulating it with the good guys to kind of overcrowd the bad. So a lot of probiotics are like from dairy or something, so they're not vegan. So make sure you're looking for a vegan one. I'm looking down, I wrote it down here. It's called, I think it's called Nova, N-O-V-A, and they have vegan probiotics. So I'll leave that in the description box below. You guys can check it out, but make sure you're getting a good quality, potent probiotic. Like I'm gonna say around 40 to 50 billion minimum. And just make sure it's vegan because like I said, some of them are from dairy. So just keep an eye out for that. The next thing would be mushroom broth. So this isn't specifically going to reheal or rebuild up the gut lining. A lot of people drink bone broth that contains amino acids that will rebuild the gut lining. Mushrooms are different. They don't really do that, but they are amazing for boosting your immune system and they are soothing to the gut. So the idea is when you have leaky gut or any type of like gut condition, you want to be giving your body warming foods and cleansing foods rather than cold and dampening foods. So a broth, whether it's vegetable broth or something, it is super warming for the intestines. Your body doesn't have to do much work to break it down. It reduces inflammation, so you really want to get lots of soups. Like this is a good time to get soups and stuff into your diet. And I would normally recommend bone broth or collagen or gelatin, but if you're vegan, my favorite recommendation would be mushrooms. So medicinal mushrooms especially, these are really good for your thyroid and adrenals and high powerful antioxidants as well. So my favorite, I'm going to be like chaga and reishi. You can buy dried mushroom and you just pour it in like some water with maybe some veggies if you want. let it boil and simmer for a long time, and then you can just strain the soup and you have a good, nice, delicious broth. I also love adding portobello mushroom and what's the other one? Oysters or shiitake mushrooms. Just do a whole bunch of mushrooms. It tastes so good. And then if you add, once it's all done, if you add like a tablespoon or two of a miso paste, make sure it's organic and fermented, you know, good quality miso paste, you're gonna be getting a really good type of Asian flavor. You could throw in some organic kelp or seaweed in there, and it's gonna be like next level with some coconut aminos. It gets really good. You can really play with this. So just definitely warming foods like soups are gonna be really good for healing the gut. And if you can't have bone broth, I'm really recommending mushrooms. And that's my kids in the background if you hear them. The next thing would be licorice root. So I love licorice root. I talk about it a lot. Whether you're vegan or not, I really recommend it. And it pretty much just balances mucus levels in the intestines. If you have really low mucus levels, it'll help your body produce mucus to realign the gut and kind of seal it off and stuff. So it's really soothing. Like I said, if you're vegan or not, I recommend taking it. You can get it in a capsule form and just pop a few. You can take licorice root tea. I just find the capsule to be a little bit more potent, so it kind of is more effective in my opinion. But either way, licorice root's amazing, so highly recommend that. And then another thing would be slippery elm. I also talk about this one a lot, again, vegan or not. And it actually helps reduce inflammation in your gastrointestinal tract, and your gut cannot heal and rebuild if it's highly inflamed. So it's like a magic pill to me. If you eat a food that would normally inflame you and you would feel really bad after, if you take slippery elm before you eat the meal, it really, really helps. You don't get as inflamed as much. You can feel the difference. So I would recommend taking the slippery elm. You can take a powder, but some people say it doesn't taste that great, and that's the kids. So I recommend just taking it in a capsule form. My favorite company, I think, is called Nature's Way. I'll leave everything down below. And it's really good. Just take like 4 capsules before a meal, reduces inflammation, and it helps the gut, you know, helps the gut be able to rebuild itself. So really recommend slippery elm. Okay, now the next thing is not really products, it's more diet. If you have leaky gut, you usually have, you know, a microbial imbalance. Usually you have lots more yeast and bad bacteria, and sometimes or all the time parasites. If you're on a vegan diet, you probably won't have as much parasites as you would have candida per se. Vegan diets are usually high carb because you're eating a lot more grains and quinoas and beans and lentils. So when you have a high carb diet, that can feed candida. So the one thing you want to do is you're gonna have to adjust your diet a little bit to have higher protein, lots of healthier fats and vegetables, and kind of lower the carbs. And it's definitely doable on a vegan diet. You would just have more, you can make like a paleo or keto-friendly wraps or breads, and you can do it egg-free. I have a bunch of like vegan recipes on my Instagram. It's at Marla's Healthy Life. It's in the description box below. You can go there and just get like vegan recipes or breads or something, and you could put avocado on it in the morning, or lots of like a big salad with like lots of avocado and maybe some tempeh that's like non-seasoned. Sometimes they put like bad ingredients and smokes in the tempeh, so if you're gonna have a tempeh, make sure it's like not seasoned. Yeah, so there's definitely things you can do just to increase your protein and your fat and kind of lower the carbs temporarily until you kind of balance out, you know, the good bacteria to the bad. And then once it's balanced out, you can kind of readjust your diet again. But definitely avoid like gluten for sure, and any type of sugar, especially fruit. If you really want fruit, have more berries because they're lower in sugar, or apples or citrus, like a lemon. But yeah, so you definitely just have to tweak your diet a little bit to what works for you. It's a little bit harder when you're on the vegan diet because a lot of your protein sources are also your carb sources. So that's kind of hard, but you can just like definitely play around with it. And there's lots of things on Pinterest and on the internet that you can like get good recipes that are vegan, but also higher protein, higher fat, lower carb. And then something else you want to think about adding into your diet if you're not is a spirulina powder. So spirulina contains all of the essential amino acids. So that is going to help with your gut lining. But what it's really going to help is actually cleanse out and kind of detoxify or deodorize the colon. So not only will you have like less body odor, but your colon will be cleansing out. So a lot of the bad things and toxins that are sitting in your colon are going to get flushed out, and it'll be like a better environment for the new good bacteria to thrive and to re-heal your gut. So spirulina is pretty important in my opinion. You can also do chlorella, but if you are to do chlorella, make sure it is cracked cell chlorella because your body has a hard time kind of breaking it open and getting out the nutrients. So if it's cracked cell, it's much easier for our bodies to, digest and get the goods out of it, if that makes sense. So that's kind of it for this video. Those are my tips and products I would recommend taking to help heal your gut. And like I said, one of the most important things in terms of diet is definitely get off of gluten and sugar and really lower your carb intake. So I would say like no bananas, watermelon, things like that for a while, just until your candida is gone. If you have leaky gut, you usually have candida, so that's why I'm kind of saying you have to adjust your diet as well. So if you do all of these things that I listed, you should definitely improve your gut. Now everyone has leaky gut and it shows in different ways. So some might get bloated, some might get cramps or lots of gas or heartburn, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea. It really comes in so many ways, skin problems. So you'll know your gut is starting to heal if you follow this protocol, and I promise it'll help, but it depends how long you'll have to do it depending on how severe your symptoms are. So, but once you start seeing that your bloating or your psoriasis or whatever your problem is going away, you know your gut is healing, and then just stick with it. And this should be something that you kind of do the rest of your life. Like even though my gut is healed now, I still do like a gut healing protocol all the time. I always take the gut healing supplements just as like a preventative measure. So if I do get really stressed one day or eat something I shouldn't, then I know that my gut is in a good enough condition because I've been supplementing continuously to kind of, help combat, the problems. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this video helps. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, so it kind of just lets me know what you guys like to see. And if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.